Hey y'all, it's James with Freedom Rental Properties, and today I'm going to be going over all the numbers. That includes the BRRRR Buy, Rehab, Refinance, Repeat of our cabin duplex project, and I'll also be showing you the cash flow numbers and the actual after the refinance numbers that I get to benefit from keeping this in our portfolio. So this project, to give you a little bit of background, I'm going to throw some pictures up here on the screen of what the project looks like after we've done our light renovations for each side of the duplex. This is a duplex, like I said. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath each side duplex. I purchased this from a local wholesaler, and I used a local hard money lender to finance the purchase and the rehab. I did have to come out of pocket some on the purchase of it. Our lender wanted us to have some skin in the game, but I'll show you how I got all that money back, and we got an infinite return on this project, and it cash flows, so you can't do much better than that. So let's just jump into the numbers. The purchase price on this property was $95,000. With our hard money lender, we had a renovation budget of $15,000. So when I mentioned that I had to come out of pocket, that helped with some of the purchase, and I used a HELOC that I had on a prior property, and that came out to be $11,200, and that covered some of the closing costs of purchasing the property as well. So if you look at it, I'm now into the property, the 95 and the 15 at 110. During the refinance part, whenever I did the appraisal, came back at $155,000. So you can see there with the appraisal, 155 into the property 110. I got a decent spread in there. Whenever I did my mortgage, it is for $124,000. So if you can see the difference there, I actually got a check at closing for $12,400. Now that check I used to pay back our HELOC, and whenever I did that, the difference I still had $1,200. Okay, that's simple. I did have some carrying costs whenever I'm doing the renovation part. That includes things like my property management fee whenever we did have tenants in place, also utilities and things like that. That was roughly about $775. So thankfully for me is that I did not spend $15,000 on the renovation. That's just what I had in the renovation budget. Actually had $4,000 left over from this $15K. I only spent a little over, or a little around $11,000. So if you add these two together and my carrying costs, so after it's all said and done, that's $4,425. Now that's $4,425 that I get to keep tax-free. And that little over $4,400 thus creates an infinite return for me because I no longer have any money into the deal. This property is also professionally property managed and is about as passive income as you can possibly get. Now, let's jump to the rental numbers. So now that I've shown you the actual BRRRR method and the infinite return that I received, I know you're all dying to see the rental property calculations and how much money does it make per month when it's in our portfolio. So this project was a duplex, like I said. Each side's pretty much the same. It rented for $895 a side. Per side, we do sign 1-year leases as well. They've all screened, they all have renter's insurance, all that type of stuff. And if you want any questions about like how we kind of handle screening processes or anything like that, definitely leave me a comment down below or check out some of my other videos that I'm going to do in the future. So that comes out to a total of $1,790 a month gross rental income. Now you're going to have expenses. And if you manage your own property, then you don't have to factor in property management like I do, but everything else, your insurance, your taxes, in this case we do cover the lawn care as well, and you want to factor in a reasonable amount for repairs and capital expenditures or CapEx. Now that's a little bit different depending on age of the property, your local area, a lot of factors go into that, but a reasonable amount, I usually factor in somewhere around 7% for a property like this with its age and the renovations that we've done. Now whether you have repairs or CapEx expenditures during that month or not, you still need to be saving up for those. Also, people leave out when they try to do these rental property calculations is a reasonable vacancy rate. You can't imagine that the same tenant is going to be there the entire time that you own the property, especially if you own it for 10, 20, 30 years. even in multifamily, you could get by with a little bit less maybe on your vacancy rate for single family, but in multifamily, you're probably going to have some turnover, even in C-class like that we work in. So I factor in a reasonable vacancy rate as well. Once you factor in insurance, repairs, capex, vacancy, property management, lawn care, in our case, taxes, all that stuff, that comes out to expenses roughly about a month, $770. So I put this over here, and those are my expenses for the month. Now my mortgage is $711 a month. And so if you factor these two expenses in, and what we bring in monthly, I have a rough cash flow of about $310 a month. That's for both sides. That comes out to about $155 a side on that duplex, or per unit. If you do the math on that, that's $3,720 a year in positive cash flow. Now, that's pretty good. That's not bad for a duplex that is fully property managed and is about as passive as it gets. So I'm definitely glad that we took on this project. You can't ask for cash flow, infinite return, money back in my pocket. It was all around a home run deal. Hey y'all, if you'd like to see more projects like this cabin, duplex, BRRRR, definitely let me know in a comment down below. I'm also looking for great ideas, just like you all have, about videos that I can do to make you a better real estate investor and landlord. Definitely remember to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell, or check out some of my other videos over here that are all related and to make you a better investor. Always keep in mind that Freedom Rental Properties is here to teach you how to be a better investor through real estate and a better landlord. And that's it for me and Charlie, and we're on to the next one.